This week, our guest is Captain Marlin Marshall. What makes Marlin a little bit different is he's kind of a throwback guy. He's not the average 25-year-old fishing guide. This guy was brought through the ranks by Captain Wayne Simmons and several other prominent guides from yesteryear in the Pinellas County area, and he's just been one of those guys that has figured it out really fast. All right, back here in an old familiar haunt for me. I haven't been here since the hurricane really kind of impacted the zone. It's mid-spring, what are we gonna do?
Probably look for some redfish, sea trout early. You know, the sun gets up a little higher, we're gonna be sight fishing a little bit more. Potentially run into some cobia. Look for some cobia a little later, but we're gonna focus on them sea trout early. We'll get that sun up a little higher, have no clouds. I think it's gonna be all right.
It's perfect for that. I mean, this is, I hate to jinx this. It's the perfect day.
Oh, I know it.
It's the type of day you would expect. We're in the right moon right now. We're coming into great tides. Tarpon are about to show up. You know there's got to be some cobia swimming around on the back of rays right now, and there are probably plenty of spawning trout and redfish crawling all over the sand. So
we're gonna get in some fish for sure.
I'm anxious because of that traffic. I'm more anxious. So let's go catch a few.
Let's do it.
Make a few famous today. The whole zone, basically from Clearwater to just north of Tarpon Springs, there's a zone there that just really has some fertile, healthy turtle grass flats. And honestly, historically, it's been one of the best places to catch speckled trout every winter and spring. And I've been doing this for decades. It's never let me down. And when we started the morning off, we wanted to go to a zone, maybe look around to see if we could find some bigger trout and look for some redfish on these oyster bars. We get up there, we didn't see too many redfish, even though all the signs were there. There were sheep's head there were bonnethead sharks there. It looked good, mullet were chopping, water was high, it was over the top of the bars. I really thought we were gonna sting a couple of redfish. But when we got into those little minor, like secondary points where the water would steer and cut a little groove close to the bank, and you would throw those Meridines in there, those nicer trout, well, they were all lined up, posted up, ready to smack some Mirrolures. There he is.
Good job. That's a nice one.
I felt him thump that one through the reel. That one might be better.
Oh yeah.
That one might be a better one.
That's a nice one.
Look at this one's a wide body. That is a wide body trout there. That's one of the other things I like about this setup here is the one-piece reel. You feel the bite.
Yeah, all the way down.
Yeah, and the blank is exposed on the bottom side of this rod. Feel it. All right, youngster. Another good one here.
Yeah, that is a healthy one.
A lot bigger than the last one. That's a good-looking fish.
Man, he had to have that thing. He's all tangled up in it.
Yeah, about to get him out though, right here. I mean, he just whopped it just as soon as it stopped. On the hard stop, when it just paused and just hung there and started shimmying, that's when he crushed it. So how long have you been guiding, Marlin?
Since I was 18.
Wow, so a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while. Renewed my captain's license once. I'm on the second issue of it, so.
Well, you had some good teachers, especially Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne and Neil. And,
Yep. Yeah, a lot of fun with them guys. Learned a lot.
And then you got a lot of your peers now that you fish with. You know, I heard you mentioning Brian Chamberlain earlier. I was like,
Yeah.
Brian's probably been on this show more than any other guest.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian Chamberlain, Brian Jill.
Yeah.
Part of the old school crew.
Good anglers.
Oh yeah.
I always find that the fly guys are a little bit more methodical, a little bit more business-like. They try to mechanically go through a zone as slow as possible.
Yeah. Can't drive a motorcycle through the woods, you know?
That's right. It suits my style too, because I would rather hunt with this than always have to just machine gun and make it a game of numbers.
Rapid fire.
Yeah. There are days when you don't have a choice, you know, but with these conditions, I want to be able to see them, catch them. Well, springtime is just one of those special seasons when the fish are moving out of the back and they're moving out front. And it was the last week or two prior to tarpon season. So Marlin had some spare time. I called him up and we were actually talking about some summer fishing in Louisiana. I was like, there's a window of opportunity for us to fish together for FlatsClass if you'd like to give it a go. He goes, I'm really not on anything right now. He goes, I've been just kind of playing around, getting ready for tarpon season. I go, well, you know what's a home run every year, and that's going up to Pasco County and just tooling around, looking for stingrays, and maybe catching a few cobia. What's that there?
Tracking. Shark. Nope, cobia. Good job. Good eyes on that one. Trying to find your line.
He's going back this way. That's why I said there can be some free swimmers.
Yeah, that was good. That thing had its belly in the dirt, man. I thought it was a shark.
As soon as he sees it, he has to have it.
You get him tired out here, I'll get the net out.
I don't know if these things ever get tired out.
That's a nice fish.
It's a good fish. I'd say that's a legal cobia.
Yeah, I'd say.
This is the one fish of fish that you do not want to bring into the boat until they're ready to come. That's going to be a big one.
It's a nice one.
Yep. When I tied this worm on, getting ready for this trip yesterday, I thought, I haven't been up here in a long time, but whew.
Look at that. Good job. Very nice.
That is a good one.
Look at that thing.
And that one, not on a host ray.
Yeah, free swimmer.
Yeah, free swimmer.
Get the
Caught
hook
on
out.
a bass bait.
Yeah, you might have to get your pliers in there. You ate it pretty good.
Man, they are strong.
It's a nice one, ain't it?
That one there made good account of itself. That is what we come fishing for right there. A big cobia.
Beautiful. You seen that worm and he had to have it.
I love that fishery so much that it's just a small window. There's just a couple of weeks where it's really going off, and then you've got to pick the right day with the right wind and the right sun, and you've got to understand where the tide is, because sometimes they're inside, sometimes they're way outside. So there's a little bit of local knowledge that goes to it. And when I'm down there, it is nice in this experience that I had with Marlin to have another set of experienced eyes that can call shots out, because you can't see everywhere. And let's face it, someone with 25-year-old eyes are going to see them a lot faster than a guy with 60-year-old eyes.
Take a shot down here towards 8, as far as you can. See him? There you go, swim it.
Turn.
He's on it, he's on it. Good job. 2 of them.
Good eyes,
all right,
man.
hang on.
There's a second one there. These guys are in competition with each other.
You gonna be all right landing them?
Yeah. Get a net out.
I'll help you. I think we lost his friend. Good job on that one.
That's a pretty typical size that we catch here.
Yeah.
Is that size right there.
You want to grab him? You want me to grab him?
You grab him. I might get a shot of you holding our buddy here. In years past, I can remember when the old plant there at Anclote was pumping out hot water, and we used to go up there and fish these Berkeley sand eels. It was just a stick bait, and we used to just crush the jacks, the cobia, the snook on those things. But as fate would have it, time's passed and there's a lot of pressure on that fishery up there, and the fish aren't as easy to get close to. And we do a lot of push pulling so that we can get closer to them. But most of the rays are like a full cast. And when I say a full cast, I'm talking like 120 to 130 feet out minimum. And I've gone to larger and heavier baits to be able to reach out and touch them. And one that has really, rung through for me here in the last 2 seasons has been the Mulletron Align Through. It's about a 4.5-inch bait. The whole bait weighs about 1 ounce, and I can zip it out there about 180 feet on a casting reel and put it exactly where I want it. And well, you saw it works every time.
Come tight. Good job. Good deal. He ate that twice.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Good job.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
That was good. Stuck with it.
Another good fish.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Boy, when they want to clobber a bait, don't they clobber it? There's no way you're done.
That's it. Well, that was quick.
Yeah, no. And it's right out of them that fast.
Look at that.
That was fluorocarbon line.
Nice. Look at that thing.
Yeah, he's not gonna want to be held as easy, so I'll let you grab this one. How about that? If you've ever brought a cobia into your boat, and I don't care what size they are, whether they're 40 pounds or if they're only 4 pounds, when you grab a hold of them, you better grab a hold of them like you're holding on to an alligator, because there is not a fish stronger in the shallows than a cobia. It's like one giant muscle just flexing in front of you all the time, and you're trying to keep a hold of it. But if you land one a little bit too fast and you bring them in the boat, be ready. I'm just saying, be ready.
Well, good job, man. That was cool.
Right here at the edge of the channel.
Yeah, right on the highway.
It's like this, there's a sweet spot in here where they want to be. All right, friends, Cobia tackle. You've seen me do this before. There's a couple of different setups, whether you're using spinning gear, in this case I was using casting gear, but by and large, most of it works out to be medium heavy. You're looking at rods, if you're on the casting side, between 7 foot and 7 foot 4 inches long. And if you're gonna throw spinning gear, you're probably really looking at something from 7.2 to 7.6. You just need that little bit of extra length. Typically, I'm always throwing braided line for bigger species. But because this was late in the season and the fish have been hammered to death, I decided I was gonna throw some of this Soflex, which is something that Diamond came out. They're partnered or they're part of Momoy lines. And this stuff has been fantastic for me in every situation where I have spooky fish or I'm using treble hooks where I need a little bit of forgiveness. I wanted to really put it to the test with these Cobia, and it worked out just perfectly. Doesn't throw a shadow on top of the surface, gets below the surface so that when you're twitching it or giving it any action at all, you don't have that jumping motion to spook them. And it affords me a very long cast, which was really critical in this. Now, the two lures that we used were pretty interesting. One is the tried and true Fatty Z. It's actually a bass bait. Works great. This is something that I like to throw in 5 to 7 inch lengths. This is their 5-inch length. It's a beautiful little bait. This is the Canada Crawl. I've got it on a death grip jig head, but sometimes you'll see me using dirty jigs. Sometimes you'll see me using a longer shanked redfish eye. But this has been a really solid jig head for me. This death grip jig head has been really solid. And then, who doesn't like a mullet? There were a lot of mullet. We showed some of them. They were flitting around on top of the surface out there over some of the holes, and they were little groups of mullet, like 15, 20 mullet at a time, and they just happened to be the ideal size. The line through Mulletron is perfect because once the Cobia runs up on the lure, overtakes it, you set the hook and he runs away, the actual body of the bait comes away from the hook, so you're not letting him have the weight of the bait to go back and forth when he starts slinging his head on the surface, and he cannot free himself. It's a really good plan. Between that little deal there and the fluorocarbon line giving me plenty of give and take, it's hard for them to get off, it really is. So if you're looking to try something new, something a little bit stealthy, something a little slicker, to catch spooky fish or to catch bigger game fish that are a little bit more wary, give that Soflex from Momoy a try and try some of these baits out the next time you have an opportunity to encounter Cobia.
Oh, Cobia in that hole, 8 o'clock, going to the left. Sam?
Yeah.
There you go, good shot. Dogging it, dogging it, dogging it, dogging it. 8. Good job. Good job. That's a whopper, man.
That's a bigger one.
Good deal.
That's a bigger one. Great eyes, man.
Yep.
You are on fire.
He did the same kind of deal. He was moving away and he had to make a U-turn. Good shot too, man. Takes 2 to play this game.
I think the biggest gap is being able to, you see the fish and me pick the fish up after you see them, where you're telling me?
Yep, definite team sport.
Yeah, that's definitely the game.
That's a nice fish right there.
Yeah, that's a really good one here. Look, my line through mullet's all the way up here on the tip top of the rod. I'm trying to keep this tip active because I don't know how good a hook set I got in this one.
Yeah, I don't see where the hook is.
He came jumping right out of the water. This is gonna be a net full. He's not a little guy. He's angry. He does not like it. Woo!
Good job, man.
I was starting to think my skunk and my banana hat were starting to come back to bite me in my taboo hat. This is a taboo cobia here.
That's a nice one.
You know, that one there, he might be the right size.
It looks like
He's
it,
pretty
don't he?
close.
I'll let you
He's
grab
well over
this.
a yard long. These things are hard to hang on to. Nice. How do you top that?
You can't.
You can't top that, brother. I say that's the one that puts us on our way back to the marina.
I agree.
Because that was epic.
Good deal.
And it turned out to be the biggest cobia today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good job. That was good shot on that one. Very good.
Put a few things away and roll. Big thanks goes out to Captain Marlin Marshall for making this happen. Short notice and then sticking me around all day long, staring into that water, trying to give me a couple extra shots. It definitely made a difference. And the whole team at Lateral Media that produces and films all the FlatsClass TV episodes, they did a wonderful job on this one. It seemed like they were always in the right spot. The camera boat operator, Dave, always seemed to be right where he needed to be. And the great county of Pasco here in Florida, they have an incredible fishery there for speckled trout, but that cobia fishery and that tarpon fishery there is pretty world class.